Welcome guys, back to Risk for Generational Wealth. My name is Barrett. Let's begin. So today's episode is a core pillar to my channel. I'd like to talk a little bit about mentality and how you can even begin, because it can seem like so much for any individual to begin working on their dreams, their goals, and what they want to accomplish in this world. So I want to start with a study that shows you can improve your mental health by training the suppression of unwanted thoughts, aka you can just get over things. Also, words are like spells. Be very careful while labeling yourself as traumatized or depressed. They start to become real. This is so true. So in my background and one of the jobs that I had, I was working for a company that sold brain-controlled video games that help with ADD and ADHD. The unique thing that I found out while working at this company was that your brain is like a muscle. You can train certain parts of your brain, like focus, whatever, and you can make that even better, that part of you. This is really important because whatever you think about is continually growing that part of your brain. You could have positive affirmations, positive thoughts in the morning. That could be making you feel better. Or you could be having negative or worrying thoughts and emotions that could drive you further into that spiral. The one thing too I see is that in our brain, we have these things called superhighways. So these are parts of your brain where you have been thinking the same way again and again, and you end up creating these neural pathways that are superhighways because they've been traveled so much and they have had consistent traffic through your brain of these thoughts. And so those in many ways are the most difficult to change as a person. But you can have that ability to change that. So for those of you that are stuck in a low state, you're like, how can I get out of this? Positive affirmations and positive thinking actually does help. It can seem like a lot, but it really is important. The self-talk that you have with yourself when you're alone can completely change or completely harm you depending on the thoughts that you have. Now, with this in mind, look, this is going to be a controversial subject, but therapy. So I do believe it has its place. If you have extreme trauma or bad things that happen, you do need to talk about it with somebody that can guide you through those experiences. It is important. I've been to therapy, a couple times. But what I found was, for me personally, it's not so much for me. I get a lot more value out of, speaking with my friends that are close to me that I believe actually have my best interests. And then it's not financially tied. And they also seem to know me the best too, even though you may not get the best guidance through those pathways, I guess. Or perhaps like the right way to go about that. What I find is if you have people around you that are constantly developing, they're willing to grow, they have like self-growth as a part of their life, they can add a lot of value for that. So I guess what I'm trying to say is you have to go through your life and you have to be very careful of the negative things that you bring into your mind. And also these negative habits that we have, whether it's talking bad about yourself, talking bad about other people, anything. And so, again, as you go through your life, keep in mind and begin to pay attention to the small details. And you can also think for yourself, what are the things that I want to be better at? For me, I am so shy. When I was growing up, I didn't like talking in front of people and stuff like this, like creating YouTube videos, making music. It brings me alive. It gives me an excitement because I feel like I'm not like everybody else. I feel like I can be myself. I can be different. And I think it excites me so much because I know so many people are scared of this. And that could be one of my superpowers in that way, is that I dive into that fear and I accept it. So with that in mind, guys, I don't want to make this too long. I want you to be able to internalize everything that I've just said. take your time. Use those positive affirmations in the day. Breathe through your nose. Take in that positivity and love yourself. This is a long process. It's not going to happen overnight, but we are humans. We all make mistakes. Bad things happen, sometimes out of our control. Maybe we make mistakes, and it's okay. But you have to find a way to love yourself. As we are just growing, we are doing the best that we can do. Perhaps it was heavier for me, so I wasn't able to accomplish what I needed to accomplish for the day, but that is okay. And the more you begin to love yourself, the more you begin to build that super highway and then the neural pathway, and it becomes easier and easier to do so over a longer period of time. I put this out there, guys, because this is a core pillar and foundation for you to make the self-growth. If you don't have this and you still have the negative talk and you can't get rid of that, it's going to feel like you're carrying a backpack with like 100 pounds of rocks. You know, you still may get to your destination, but it's going to be so freaking hard. So find a way to unburden yourself. Get around positive people. If you have nobody positive around you, I will put out content as much as I can to help you with that. But it's also completely up to you in your journey to take the steps necessary to get yourself moving in the right direction. Nobody can do this for you. It is completely up to you. So with that in mind, take swift action, attack immediately these problems that you have in your life, and build a foundation of self-confidence and love yourself. Signing off, guys. Have a great day.